Hey guys, welcome. It is a Thursday night MLB trade deadline extravaganza. I don't know if it's an extravaganza or not, but we're gonna go over a bunch of the biggest moves from the trade deadline. So, welcome to the Sports Show with No Name. I'm your host. I'm Chad Bryan. As always, I've got my buddy Ben Bales. Ben, what's going on, man?
Nothing much.
And then you see the bottom of your screen. We have a special guest. Nick, tell us who you are, just in case anyone's forgotten. Let us know who you are, man.
Nick Tororik, went to media school with these guys a couple years ago, and we used to do a show every week together. And love to talk ball, and especially with these guys.
The old Come On Ref days, man. Those were fun. That was a fun show to do.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, me too. We were trying to get the ability to stream on both channels, but we could never quite figure out the dual streaming. So whatever. Come On Ref channel is. I don't know. I haven't looked at it in a while. I'm not sure if there's any activity over there or not, but we're here now. So that's the important thing. Where do you guys want to start, man? I've got a bunch of trades here. I mean, a lot of contenders bolstered the bullpen. I think a lot of people needed bullpen help.
Yeah. I mean, maybe
we talked about the Mets. We talked about the Phillies needing bullpen help. The Padres got Mason Miller from Oakland. I thought that was a pretty big one. I mean, does that make the Padres kind of a force in the National League? It feels like nobody's stepping up in the National League right now.
I think so, because with that offense, we've seen like the last couple of years, that offense can get hot at any time.
Yeah.
And it seems like whenever they get hot, they just blow a lead because they don't have a back half of the bullpen.
I know that feeling as a Braves fan. I know that feeling.
Now you had one of the best young closers in all of baseball.
Yeah.
And the Padres, they have an all-star closer in Robert Suarez too already, so I'm curious to see who's going to be getting more of the closer reps right now, because Suarez has had a great season. The Padres, I do like this move, adding Miller for them, but man, did they give up a lot. They gave up the number 3 prospect in all of baseball for a relief. That's quite something to give up a top 3 prospect in the game. And then they just
a shortstop too, a premium position guy too.
Yeah. They just gave up 6 prospects to the Orioles for O'Hearn and Laureano. So once again, AJ Preller's going all in for the Padres. Seems like they do this every year or every couple of years, where they just come out of nowhere and absolutely go all in at the deadline. I still think the Padres. I think they are firmly in contention in the National League, because I don't think there's not one team in baseball really running away with it right now.
No,
I'm kind of.
The Brewers have the best record. I mean, it's bizarre.
Yeah, I don't love what they've given up. That I think they've really gutted the farm. But if you can get past the Dodgers or the Phillies or the Cubs, any of these teams in the NL, I think it's in the end it's going to be worth it.
Yeah.
You got to watch out for the Phillies. The Phillies are just a force in the postseason. I mean, the Phillies have the whole baseball is a marathon, not a sprint thing figured out, because it's like they get to the end of the season, they're barely in the playoffs. They look like, well, whatever. The Phillies kind of backed in, and then suddenly there they are on the NLCS, or they're right on the cusp of the World Series again. The Phillies have it all figured out, it seems.
I mean, I'm surprised I'm surprised the Padres didn't have to give up their top catching prospect, Nathan Salas, because I heard his name being thrown around a lot in all these big name trades.
Well, they gave up everyone else though.
Like I heard that if they went after Quan, they would have to give us him in return. Yeah. Same with the Dodgers. We would have wanted Dalton Rushing in return.
Yeah.
Well, they said the Guardians asked for DeVries that before they traded him to Oakland for Miller. Apparently part of the package for Quan, they wanted DeVries, and the Padres were not willing to do that for Quan.
Yeah. Well, they were willing to do it for Mason Miller, and really to trade for a position of strength, which is kind of odd. Like you said, I mean, they already have a pretty good closer.
One thing I have seen about this trade, I don't know how true it is, but there's a lot of speculation, because the Padres have done this with relievers before. There's been some talk about them potentially stretching him into a starter in the future, is one thing I saw, which would be really interesting. Yes, I saw some Padres fans saying that they think that's for sure what's going to happen next year, with because they have Cease as a free agent at the end of the year. Michael King's a free agent at the end of the year, so maybe the long-term play is here to try and stretch him out into a starter.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they do have a lot of pitchers that are kind of up in the air as far as where they're going to be.
Wild.
They did it with Seth Lugo a few years ago, and it worked out pretty well. So
it's a big adjustment if you can do it. It's a huge mental adjustment as a pitcher to go from getting used to being an 8th or 9th inning guy to trying to give your team 5 or 6 innings.
It's kind of become more of a trend recently. We've seen the Giants did it with Jordan Hicks. The Braves did it with Reynaldo Lopez.
Yeah.
Seth Lugo. Michael King at first was a reliever too, and now he's a starter. So we've seen a lot more of it recently. And
Clay
hey,
Holmes
if it's
too.
able to, yeah, Clay Holmes, another one, yeah. So
I wonder if it's helping to save some arms because, it's tough on your elbow to go out there and throw 103, 104 miles an hour, and you're most likely not doing that as a starter over 5 or 6 innings. So
It probably is. It's kind of one of those things like you look at all those pitchers like when they were young, like the pitchers from like when me and Nick were growing up, like Verlander, Scherzers, all those guys, the Strasburgs,
mhm.
they'd go out there, they'd give you 6, 7 innings. If they knew it was their last hitter, their last at bat, they're pumping it up to 102, 103,
Yeah.
and they're just throwing straight gas. Like they're still going to have it.
Yeah.
It's just they're not going to. It's like Skeens, right? Like we know Skeens can get up to 102.
Sure.
But you rarely see him touch 100 anymore because he's saving his arm.
Well, yeah, and with movement at 97 and 98, you can get guys out.
Yeah.
So it's not necessary to go up there and throw full,
And it's
full
one of those
effort
things
like
too,
that.
where it's like,
Yeah.
you get to the postseason, right? And it's like, okay, hey, we might only need you for 4 innings. Go out there and throw as hard as you can for 4 innings.
Yeah.
It's like the Andrew Miller thing with the Guardians. They rode that guy in 2016, and he was throwing 98, 99 miles an hour and hadn't done it all year. And you're like,
Yeah,
where did this
they
come
sure
from?
did ride him.
And then absolutely shoved in 2016.
Well, I want to stay local right now because I feel like we got to. I mean, there are probably some bigger moves overall, but locally, I mean, as far as us, we're here in Northeast Ohio. Obviously, we're talking. And by the way, Kansas City just traded for Bailey Falter from Pittsburgh. Tampa Bay just picked up Adrian Hauser from the White Sox. Again, not a bunch of huge moves going on right now, but a bunch of stuff coming in. Just right at the end of the deadline. Just going to kind of keep up.
Nestor Cortez to San Diego.
What's that?
Nestor Cortez to San Diego.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, I see it right there now. Yeah, I see that now. Oh, there is Dustin May to the Red Sox too. You're right.
Charlie Morton to the Tigers.
There you go. Charlie Morton, timeless.
Griffin Jax
Charlie
to the
Morton is
Rays.
500 years old.
Griffin
wild.
Jax to the Rays.
Let's talk about this Shane Bieber trade, guys, because we talked about, when we did the trade deadline special earlier on in the week on Sunday, we talked about the fact that Bieber might go, but I really didn't expect him to. But I mean, now he's gone to Toronto, and I'm kind of intrigued. Do you guys know anything about Cal Stevens at all? I'm sorry, Cal Stevens, no S.
From what I've seen today, didn't know him, I'll be honest, didn't know anything about him before today, but everything that I've read today seems like he is an emerging arm in the Blue Jays system. He's had an incredible season this year in the minor leagues.
Yeah.
It seems like he's about mid-90s fastball, so similar to Shane Bieber, similar to a lot of the guys the Guardians have had throughout the years. We never really have the high velo guys except Gavin Williams. It's really all guys mid-90s. Seems like this is the type of arm that the Guardians like to develop. And I think getting an arm of this caliber for 2 months of Shane Bieber, a guy who hasn't pitched in over a year and almost a year and a half now. I mean, I'm not surprised that we ended up trading him. Yeah. I'm a little sad to see him go, but we also haven't seen him on the team in so long. So it's not like we're making our team a lot worse right now with this. So that's why I'm okay with this move. It doesn't really make the team any worse right now, and we got an arm now for the future.
Yeah, it's not like he's been here and had 13 or 14 wins and was like the catalyst for a playoff run or anything.
Yeah,
he was just coming back, and Steven, like you said, I mean, just an intriguing arm. I mean, first of all, this is the kind of guy that the Guardians like to take and turn into a monster, right?
Yeah,
fastball slider guy. He's 6'4", 215, lots of leverage, throws on a downhill plane. Like you said, mid-90s, not a 100-mile-an-hour guy, but maybe that's safer these days. But across 3 levels of the minor leagues already this year, 9-1 with a 2.06 ERA. He struck out 99 batters in 91 and 2/3 innings, walked just 18 guys. He's given up only 5 home runs. So I assume, he's one of these heavy fastball, kind of maybe even a sinker guy. Don't know much about him, but when you can keep the ball in the park that much, you're going to be pretty successful.
Yeah.
So I think if you're a Guardians fan, you got to be pretty excited about this. I mean, I know, like you said, it stinks to see Bieber go. He was just, making the rehab starts, and I think he was just in Columbus the other night. Got rained out, didn't get to do anything. But, I don't know. I think it's a good move. I mean, the Guardians continue. They're the polar opposite of AJ Preller in San Diego. They're the most, Preller's very, very aggressive and throws caution to the wind, where the Guardians, I think, are very reasonable. And we talked about it. They're just very common sense. They make the common sense move. It's hard not to trust the Guardians in a trade, right? So sad to see Bieber go. Excited to see what Cal Steven has. I don't know. I mean, he was a second-round pick last year out of Mississippi State? Is that right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, second 59th overall pick last year, fastball slider guy. Yeah, I'm intrigued. Let's see what happens.
Camilo Doval to the Yankees.
Yeah.
Another reliever on the move. Wow. That's the
Okay.
third reliever the Yankees have acquired now because they
know.
got Bird, Bednar, and him. Wow.
Well, they needed relief help. I mean, we talked about
They
it on the show.
definitely did. Yeah.
Yeah.
They needed all kinds of relief help, and they needed, they got their third baseman in Ryan McMahon from Colorado. I don't know if that's a huge acquisition,
wonder-
but
It's an
Better than
upgrade for
nothing.
sure. It's an
I mean, we
upgrade.
talked about
Yeah.
off stream Jose Caballero to the Yankees. I wonder if he's going to replace Volpe because Volpe's like
I
leading the
doubt-
league in errors.
Based off the way Aaron Boone talks about Volpe, it sounds like he's very safe in that starting line. I agree. At some point, he's probably might like if he doesn't pick
I
it
mean-
up next year. I think we could see him potentially getting replaced at
So
some
do you think
point.
they move?
But
Do you think they move Caballero to second base then?
I think he's just a util guy. He can't really
Utility,
hit
yeah.
much. He doesn't hit much at all. So I think he's just a defense speed guy.
I think they're also just trying to find maybe some kind of a platoon that works at third because they had Jazz Chisholm there for a while.
I think he's full time second now with McMahon.
Yeah, he was playing very out of position, but he was giving them at least some kind of offensive numbers from third base because they've been very, very bad without him there. Worst in the league, actually. It's pretty bad. What do you think about the Astros getting Carlos Correa back?
I don't know where he's going to play because like you have Jeremy
So-
Pena. Like, do you move
So
one to
third
second?
base. Third base.
Okay.
So
Okay.
kind of like the
I mean, he's an October guy, right? Like he's
Yeah.
very good under the bright lights. So I don't know.
I love this for the Astros. I mean, they get one of their core pieces back from the original World Series runs that they had, and
Yeah.
Carlos Correa, he plays with an edge. He's he's a little cocky, especially in October. You've seen him have a lot of just iconic moments in the playoffs before, and getting him back on this team, it feels like they're almost trying to regain some of that identity that they had a few years back with him on the team, and like. He's owed a lot of money over the next few years, and he's had a lot of injuries, so it's definitely risky for sure. But I think him going back to Houston is going to ignite something in him, and he's going to get back to that form that he had in
Yeah, he
Houston.
definitely
At least
wanted to go back. He
offensively.
waived a no trade clause to go back.
Yeah,
So he
he
definitely
said it
wanted
was
to
the
be.
only team he would go to. He said the
Yeah.
Astros the only team he would have went to, and
enough.
the injuries are concerning. I don't know if he'll ever be the same defender that he was. Even although moving to third will probably help him defensively, but that
Yeah.
bat, I still think Carlos Correa's got some left in the tank, and I think he's going to be a huge addition to the Astros.
I agree.
Yeah, I think it helps them for sure. Like you said, 6-year, $200 million deal. He's there he's somewhere through 2028. Might as well be there. I don't think they'll move him again. I would be shocked to see them move him now. He was struggling a little bit this year for the Twins, but I mean, I don't know. Like you said, I think he's just maybe he feels more at home in Houston. He's very good in the
and
playoffs, so I don't think there's any concern there.
he's had some years where it's like he doesn't put up huge regular season numbers, but in the playoffs you don't want to face him in a big
Yeah.
moment in the playoffs. You do not want.
I feel like he's that's like a Juan Soto type of guy to me. Like, I don't know. I think I don't want to say they get bored with the regular season, but it's like the grind of the regular season is one thing, but then like when the lights get brighter in October, these guys like turn it on and they're monster at bats. You know what I
Dude,
mean?
it
You
was
get
like-
very, very tough at bats from them. So
That was like last year with like Quan and Rocchio. Like that sounds funny to say. Like Quan hit like 600 in the postseason,
yeah.
and the Yankees were like trying to pitch around him, and he's just sticking his. It literally looked like he's just sticking his bat out there, and the ball's just hitting his bat and blooping over the third baseman.
It was unbelievable. I mean, he was hitting everything. It was absolutely unbelievable.
I mean, it was the same with Rocchio too. Like you look at a guy that was in the 9-hole that was hitting almost 400. And you're like, if he's getting on base every time for Quan, like you're hoping that they're going to at least score 1 or 2 runs off it.
Right. Red just made a trade with the A's, by the way. Well, it still feels weird not to call him Oakland. That bothers me. Miguel Andujar is going to Cincinnati.
okay.
So that's a nice
I
little
don't-
trade. I thought they were going to go after Eugenio Suarez, but he ended up going to where'd he go? Seattle? He went to Seattle,
Yeah,
right?
he went back to Seattle. One last thing I'll say on Correa to the Astros. I think right now the Astros are the clear favorite in the American League, in my opinion. The Detroit has not been playing great ball as of late,
No.
and they really haven't done much at all here at this deadline to improve their team. I think that how good their offense was earlier in the year. I don't think it's quite to that level that they were playing at early in the season. So I still
They
like
needed
Detroit.
another starting pitcher badly.
Mhm.
They got
And
one,
I
Charlie
still-
Morton.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. But I still like Detroit, but I think the Yankees, their offense is inconsistent. Toronto's playing good right now, but to me, the Astros, their postseason pedigree, their starting rotation, adding Correa to this lineup, they are, in my opinion, the clear favorite in the AL right now.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I think if the Rangers are starting to hit the ball a little bit too. I would have said maybe the Rangers might have been, my favorite at the moment, but yeah, I think you're right. I think Houston overtook them the big time, really, with the Correa move. I mean, that's a big move
And
for them.
I mean, like Nick said, I mean, like just their playoff pedigree. I mean, like if you get Jordan Alvarez back healthy, you get Correa in
Yeah,
there who has that experience.
Jordan hasn't done much at all this season, and they're
Yeah,
still one of the top teams in the AL. Like, and they traded away Kyle Tucker in the offseason. I mean, they've brought in Paredes, they've brought in a few guys, but like
Yeah.
if you looking at the lineup before the season, like it didn't look like it would be the same type of Astros team that you're used to seeing, mainly because a lot of the guys that we're used to seeing there weren't there anymore.
yeah.
But guess what? They're still among the best teams in the AL right now, and I think they're the favorite.
Fair enough. I agree. I agree with that 100%. Who NL East? I know you guys probably don't care much about the NL East, but who made their bullpen better, the Phillies or the Mets at the trade deadline?
I think the Phillies.
Yeah.
I think I think the Phillies. I think Duran is probably better than Helsley, but the Mets getting Helsley as well as I'm blanking on the first reliever. Oh, Tyler Rogers. They got Tyler
Yes.
Rogers as well. Adding
Yeah.
two guys of that caliber to their bullpen, I
Yeah.
really like what the Mets did with that.
They needed it. I mean,
Yeah,
their bullpen was awful for a
and
while.
they're kind of trying to turn into that like pitching fat. They brought in a lot of the Brewers guys. They with David Stearns running the team now. They have a really good pitching coach. So it seems like the Mets have kind of become a team where like if they get their hands on the right guy, they're able to turn him into something better than what they were before. So getting
Yeah.
two high quality relievers who are already good, adding them to this rotation and this pitching lab, I think it's only going to make the Mets even more dangerous.
And, yeah, Helsley's been really good recently too. His last 11 appearances, he has an ERA under 1, going back to June 19th. So yeah, he's been very, very good recently. But yeah, Tyler Rogers again. Like you said, adding two quality relievers. I mean, they needed to do it. I mean, Ben and I talked about it. I briefly trolled over the Mets, and I just said, "Listen, they need pitching. They've got to bolster the bullpen. They need help." I mean, so they got some help. I think you're right. I think it maybe is the Mets.
I mean,
I
they've been
do
able to
like,
do it with they've been able to do it with starters for sure, like with the Griffin Canning signing, Clay Holmes, Luis
yeah,
Severino had a career rejuvenation there, Sean Manaea, like so if they're able to do the same with these relievers, then they're going to be really dangerous here.
yeah. I don't want to think about the Mets being dangerous as a Braves fan, but yeah, it's true. I mean, well, I don't know what happened to the Braves. We talked about it a little bit before we went on air. What is like? They haven't really done anything at the deadline. They haven't.
No,
I mean,
I mean
they've acquired a bunch of lower level starters to eat innings to get through this. Just to get through the season. But I'm surprised they didn't sell like no Ozuna, nobody. I thought maybe Ozzy Albies might even go. I mean, I don't know. I thought they might try to do something to shake up something there, but man, they've bottomed out. I mean, they're really one of the worst teams in baseball right now.
and especially with Acuna going down again, I'm really surprised that they did not make more moves to build for the future because this is a lost season at this point. But I think the Braves, if their guys can get healthy, and I don't think Austin Riley's going to be this bad forever. I don't think Ozzy Albies going to be this bad forever. So I think that the Braves, I think they're still in a mode where I think the reason they didn't make a lot of moves here at the deadline is because they believe next year they'll be right back in it. They'll be contenders again.
Yeah.
That's at least probably what they believe.
They're going to have to do something with the pitching staff. I mean, we Ben and I did a show back at the beginning of the season, kind of a preview show, and I said that I just thought the pitching was in big trouble in Atlanta, and now every single member of that opening day starting staff is on the IL with something. I mean, they've got some kind
Guys
of
like
problem.
Sale and Strider, they've been injury prone for a while now, so it's
Yeah.
really not surprising to see them go down. And
Yeah,
it
well,
seems like
Strider's there. He's pitching now, and he's okay.
Yes, he is. But
But
he's when he first came back at the beginning of the year, he got hurt again, and now he's finally back. But still, those are guys that you can't rely on to be healthy for the whole season.
I was shocked that Sale had, well, I would say a whole season last year, but he had an entire regular season and then was out for the postseason, of course. Won the Cy Young last year. I mean, was able to stay healthy long
this
enough.
latest injury is kind of a fluke. That latest injury is a fluke one. I mean, just really feel bad for him breaking his ribs diving for a pop up.
I know, and that's the kind of player he is. People are mad at him, but I'm like, that's the kind of hustle guy that he is. I mean, he's always going to try to make that play. I mean, he's a gamer, and those things seem to happen to Sale, whether it's a broken rib from diving or a injured hand from a chalkboard or whatever it was.
He had a bike. He fell off a bike or something like that, wasn't it, in Boston?
He fell off a bike. I don't know about that. That was the story. Premium athletes just falling off of a bike and I don't know. I guess it could happen, but okay, sure. He fell off a bike. I feel like he got into a fight with the bike, possibly, but whatever. He's a very passionate guy. We're gonna let him go. They did, by the way, the Braves picked up Carlos Carrasco. If you guys are curious, that was an under the radar kind of a trade, but they picked up.
He hasn't been good in 3 years, unfortunately.
No, I think he's an organizational depth kind of a guy. That's what that trade.
The Guardians couldn't even keep, like, they had him in the rotation last year. They couldn't even keep trotting him out there. Like, it got so bad to a point they just had to cut ties.
Yeah. He had lost a lot of velo and a lot of command, and those two things aren't usually a very good mix.
He's 38 years old now. Like, he's not supposed to be good anymore.
Right. Yeah, he's not supposed to be up there anymore, but hey, good for him for still pitching. What about the Cubs getting Michael Soroka? Did you guys hear about that? That's not a bad trade.
He's a guy I've seen with a lot of his expected stats are a lot better than his actual stats. Like, he's got really good stuff and just hasn't quite worked out this year in Washington. Yeah. But I think there's something in the tank with that. I like that move for them. But he's probably going to be out of the bullpen with them, I'm guessing. I don't know if he's going to start because he's done a little bit of both the last few years, just in and out of rotations.
I could see him being a kind of a long reliever, spot starter type of guy.
He was good as a reliever last year for the White Sox.
Yep. It's good to see him do something. I mean, after tearing the Achilles twice, man, just a horrifying, it's just a terrible sequence of events for him when he was in Atlanta. But it was sad to see him go, but he was another guy that I've been kind of like silently rooting for, on the side to get something going again, because I mean, he was a major prospect.
So good as a rookie.
So good. And things just didn't work out for him. He's got a pretty average fastball. He's sitting around 93.5 this year, but when he was, coming back in Atlanta, he was sitting around 89 to 91. So that's gotten better. I mean,
he's a sinker guy, right? Like he's a big sinker guy.
Yeah, very, very heavy sinker. Yep. Yeah, sinker, change up. I mean, he was I don't know. I mean, I guess think Greg Maddux, but throwing 93 to 95. You know what I mean? So that's the style always kind of reminded me of that. He's a lot bigger than Maddux. He's a tall kid.
I mean, Nick, me and Chad were talking about this on Sunday. We were saying that like all the big baseball trades never really happen at the deadline, kind of like we see in other sports. Like they usually all happen in the off season or like
the winter meetings are the biggest time usually.
Like
this deadline's been crazy. Honestly, I mean all the relievers off the market, Carlos Correa going. It's been one of the better deadlines.
Phil made time to the Rangers.
2022. Yeah.
Sorry.
It has been, but like you think about last year in the NBA, right? Like we had Luka traded at the deadline. Like baseball.
That's something that's just
baseball. Like you haven't really seen like many big name guys traded at the deadline. Like it normally happens like in winter meetings or like in October or like big guys.
Yeah, there's always a ton of speculation, but I feel like you're right. It does happen at the winter meetings.
It's kind of like when there's speculations that like, a player's going to get traded. Like I could see it happening with Quan, right? Like we trade Quan in the winter meetings like we did with Naylor.
Yeah. Does Ke'Bryan Hayes help the Reds at all?
I like it defensively.
On defense.
Yeah.
He's been the worst hitter in baseball the last 2 years, but
he hasn't quite lived up to it.
It's amazing.
It's okay. Terry Francona will find a way for him to hit 250 and have some.
He's Jason Hayward right now. Great defender, no bat, right?
Yeah. He's still got I think he's got a good amount of years left on his deal too. So I'm a little surprised the Pirates moved on from him, but it just wasn't working there with the bat.
Yeah, I think I'm never really surprised to see the Pirates move on from anyone. I know they're going to hold on to Skeens as long as they can.
Pirates just can't develop hitters. They can't develop hitters at all. They have not, besides Brian Reynolds, they have not had a good hitter really come up in years. I mean, O'Neal Cruz has not lived up to he's been solid, but he hasn't quite lived up to the hype. He hasn't developed.
He's a StatCast superstar. Like he hits a bunch of really hard hit balls everywhere, but he's not very
all
good.
The guys that But all the guys they've drafted, like Henry Davis, hasn't really panned out. He was the number 1 overall pick. Nick Gonzalez has been okay. He was another top 10 pick. Like they just don't have, they can't develop bats. So maybe Cabrian, a change of scenery, is going to help him a lot, and they can find something with that bat. Although his hitting coach is, I believe, Chris Faleka, former guard, and I don't like Chris Faleka very much. So
Okay,
I don't know how that'll
fair.
work out. But
That's fair. I mean, it's
Here's
not
the-
exactly like the Guardians had a hugely strong offense when he was here.
he was the one who was really emphasis on ground balls and not hitting the ball in the air hard, and that was kind of why our philosophy was the way it was for a few years. And I don't love that philosophy, but
Early 80s,
We'll
you don't
see.
like that small ball?
you got to hit homers in the current MLB. You just have to.
Yeah, you got to have at least a guy. I mean,
But the Reds do have power bats in their lineup at least, so
Yeah.
they at least do have some guys with natural pop.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think sometimes you were talking about, you know, the picks, the draft picks for the Pirates. I think sometimes an organization like that, outside of Paul Skeens, I mean, they draft for value.
They lucked into Paul Skeens though too. That's not, you can't even
Yeah.
give him credit for drafting Paul Skeens. That's just, you got the number 1 pick on a good year.
That was a no-brainer. Yeah, you do that.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes the Pirates draft to keep signing bonuses down, and that's not really
Mhm.
the way to build a team. I mean, I get it. If you don't feel like it's your window to win, you don't want to go all in on a guy and pay him $5 million to come there and play for 5 years and leave. But I mean, the Pirates are just stuck in this horrible cycle that
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how they're going to get out of it. Maybe new ownership is the only way. I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's terrible too because their stadium. I mean, PNC Park. They've got.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God, it's beautiful. I mean, the views, the park, the everything. I mean, they've got the perfect setup there. They just can't win baseball games.
Yeah, that's one of those things. Like if they were like consistently good,
yeah,
that's a place where you get some big name guys just because of the scenery and where it's at and the city it's in.
Yeah,
and it's like
good fan base too.
I was just talking about this with someone. Downtown, like Pittsburgh, just has their sports scene and the downtown scene all figured out. Like it's
a good sports city. I mean, look at look at the Steelers and the Penguins. Because they're consistently good, their fans show up for them. If the Pirates were just even close to that, their fans would show up for them.
I feel like if they had an NBA team, they'd figure that out too. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good. As much as I, don't like Steelers fans and that part of Pittsburgh sports fans, but they're good. They're passionate, and it is a good fan base overall for what they do.
It is. I mean, yeah.
And I feel like that's why a lot of people, like a lot of athletes, like playing in Cleveland and staying in Cleveland because our fan base is so passionate and they show up for everything. And it like, even when the Cavs were bad, like, yeah, you still people. I mean, obviously you weren't selling out, but like people were still showing up. They were still passionate about it. And it's like all you need is that little glimpse of hope. Like when we
just don't ever leave Cleveland, or they'll never ever forgive you. Apparently, you can't ever leave. You can't.
Then when you get that little glimpse of hope, like when we drafted Kyrie Irving in 2011, everybody's like, "Oh, this is our year," and then you get LeBron back, and then everybody's going crazy again. It's just that's what makes some of these small market teams so good is just their passionate fan bases. And I think sometimes that's what rides these teams like crazy because they talk about the fan support. And I think sometimes that's why the Guardians always play well at home in the postseason because the place is always packed. And like the Guardians know that if they get to a postseason, that place is going to be rocking. It's going to be packed.
I feel like Major League Baseball is drooling for the Pirates to be in the World Series to get some of those shots of downtown Pittsburgh.
Oh, for sure.
Oh my gosh, man! In October, I mean, how beautiful would that be? They've got a perfect setup there. I don't see any real new trades coming in right now.
Are we done? Are we done?
We may be done. We're a little bit past the deadline. Usually, there's a couple that come in late, but I mean,
I got one. Carl Yastrzemski to the Royals, but
Mike
Carl Yastrzemski,
or I mean, Mike Yastrzemski. Sorry,
grandson.
Man, they're going way back. I'd say maybe he still has something in the tank wherever he is. Right? I don't know. Carl Yastrzemski. That's funny. Babe Ruth to the Red Sox. That's a weird trade.
Damn, they got him back.
They got him back after all these years. He came back. They knew one day he'd come back. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see anything.
The deadline was over at 6,
so who made their team? I mean, I just who had the best trade deadline? I mean, the Yankees did a lot, but they weren't huge moves. I feel like they just shored up the right spots. The Mets bullpen got a ton better. Man, the Padres mixed it up with Mason Miller. The Phillies went out and got a closer.
Harrison Bader as well to Philly. That's a sneaky move for them.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think the Padres, you get, Laureano, you get Ryan O'Hearn. I mean, you get some more somehow me and Nick were texting about this. Somehow Ramon Laureano remembered how to play baseball again.
Hey,
Yeah.
Like this
happens.
It was
dude
the
leaves
Braves
Cleveland.
last year. That's when he started hitting, when he went to the Braves last year.
which is weird.
Yeah,
But, hey,
but you get
he didn't
know,
learn
Rhino
it in
Hearn.
Atlanta. He just somehow remembered it in Atlanta. I can tell you that. I promise you
Definitely
I-
didn't remember it in Cleveland.
that. No.
Like Nick said,
No.
I think
Okay.
if I were to pick two teams that I think got the best out of these trades, I think it's the Astros in the American League, and I think it's the Padres in the National League.
Okay. Fair enough.
I think I just think
I
the
think the
trades they
Mets,
made.
Padres, and Phillies are definitely, their bullpens are all better than they were, a couple of days ago. So
Yeah, I
for
agree.
sure.
For me, I really like what I'll give a winner on the buyer side and a winner on the seller side, because
Okay.
I think that the Mets really got a lot better. I mean, adding Cedric Mullins in center field, they got a real center fielder now. Adding two relievers to their pen, like I think the Mets definitely got a lot better. They've shored up their needs, and that's really all you can ask for from your team at the trade deadline. The Padres, they definitely got a lot better, but man, did they really give up a ton for what they got.
Yeah,
And then
they did.
on the seller side, I'm going to go with team that made trades with the Mets and the Padres, the Baltimore Orioles. They got an absolute haul back for Ryan O'Hearn and Ramon Laureano, and this has been a down year for the Orioles. It's been a disaster of a season, but I think that you can feel good about yourself here going to the future, and still think that maybe just as early as next year they can be right back in the playoff mix. Because I mean, Gunner's had not his typical season. Adley
No.
hasn't had his typical season. They've had a lot of injuries, and now they add 6 prospects from the Padres, a few more from the Mets. The
Yeah.
Probably didn't get much back for Charlie Morton, but still something. I mean, getting
Yeah, they
something
were able
back
to
for a
move him, and I think
42-year-old
that's, the
yeah.
way he started out this year, I think it's great. They were able. I'm surprised they were even
Yeah.
able to move him. So yeah,
Yeah,
that was great.
But
Yeah,
I
to
mean,
me, I think the Orioles are really set themselves up nicely well for the next couple of years. They didn't give up any of the guys that have multiple years left, so that shows that
Yeah.
they're still all in on next year and the years that follow. It wasn't a full-on reset, but they got value for their expiring guys.
yeah, and I think a big thing with them too now is that Cal Ripken is kind of making some of the decisions on the baseball aspect, like the baseball end. He's no longer just working in the front office.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things. It's like, heck, he played all those consecutive games. He knows how to win. He knows what it takes. And it's like, yeah, the moves now might not seem great, but like Nick said, they got a haul of prospects in return.
Yeah. I feel like the
And
Twins got some guys too. The Twins picked up some
They
prospects.
did, but I think they're so sad right now that they had to blow this whole team up. I feel like it doesn't really help. Like their fan base is not happy. Right? I'm sure in the long run it might not be the worst for them, but I mean, where they were at 2 years ago, winning their first playoff series in 20 years, just to
Yeah.
less than 2 years later, having to blow that entire team up. I
Yeah.
don't think Twins fans can be too happy today.
No, it brings back memories of the '90s Marlins. Win the World Series, and next year the team looks completely different. I mean, whole fire sale, everybody's
At
gone.
least they got the World Series. Twins fans didn't even get that.
That's true. It's tough to be a fan of a small market team, man. It really is. I mean, you get small windows, you get like a lot of building time, you get a lot of teardowns and rebuilds, and it's frustrating to go through that. And if the front office messes anything, I mean, any part of that up, the trades, the drafts, whatever, you're in trouble. You're in big
Yeah.
trouble.
And well, I just want to say I forgot, because these trades happened yesterday and the days before. I forgot about the Seattle Mariners. I think they honestly are the biggest winner of this trade deadline.
The Mariners
They
did
needed
acquire a
bats,
lot.
and then they get 2 all-star caliber hitters in Josh Naylor and Eugenio Suarez. I mean,
Yeah.
that is such a huge boost for that lineup. And we've been saying for years the Mariners' weakness is their lineup. They need to go out and get bats. Now they have a pretty good lineup. I mean, you got Cal Riley behind the dish, Josh Naylor at first, J.P. Crawford at short, Julio, Randy Arozarena, and we said Josh Naylor, Eugenio Suarez. Like, this is legit lineup now to go along with a great pitching staff. I think the Mariners are a team to look out for as well in the AL.
Yeah. Hey, watch out for the whole AL West next year, by the way. I mean, we talked about before we went on the air. Again, the Angels just creeping up. They keep they keep getting better, right? They're getting a little bit better, little by little. The Astros are what they are. The Rangers are really good. I mean, Jacob deGrom is healthy and pitching well. Like you said, the Mariners got much better. They've got Cal Raleigh. They added all that offense to that mix. Watch out for the whole AL West next year. I mean, the AL West could
It's a
be
tough
what
division.
we thought the AL East was going to be this year.
Yeah, and the A's are getting better too. They really are. They got a nice group of young
Yeah.
hitters there, and adding the number 3 prospect in baseball to that, like the A's are, if they can find some pitching in the next few years, I think the A's are going to be dangerous.
Yeah, that's the thing. Finding pitching is tough, but I'm obsessed with Nick Kurtz right now, man. Like
Oh
I've
yeah, that dude's incredible.
it's unbelievable how well he's seeing the ball. I mean, obviously the 4 home run game was ridiculous. He almost hit 5. But it's been more than that, man. I saw a stat. It was like the MLB leaders in offensive categories over the last 30 days, and he led in every major offensive category.
He
I
was
mean,
drafted a year ago, like just over a year ago. He was drafted, and he's already up doing this at the MLB level. It's really insane.
yeah. When Ben and I talked about it on the show, I mean, baseball is just different. I mean, it's very, very common now to draft them and let the young kids play, right? Like get them up here, see what they've got. If they show a flash, keep them up, whatever. Who cares about starting the clock early or whatever? I think you got to let them play. I think that's the biggest thing. Do we have Ben back yet? No Ben yet.
There is. And if you look at it too, it's like look at the rest of that draft class. No one else is up doing this yet. Like we got there. I mean, Caglione has debuted. Chase Burns has debuted, but Bazana's in the minor leagues hurt right now. Charlie Condon's down in the minor leagues still, I think in AA. JJ Weatherholt's still down in the minor leagues.
Yeah.
Kurtz is up at the big leagues being one of the best hitters in baseball right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing what he's done. And again, it could be a flash in the pan type of situation, but man, I mean, I feel like some of the advanced numbers
I think he's
legit. I mean, that's what some of the advanced numbers that he's putting up right now seem to shade. They would make you think that he's going to be able to maybe not keep that pace up, but I mean, yeah, over his career, I think he's going to be very good.
I remember him coming out of the draft last year. This is probably still ridiculous to say, but one of the comps I saw for him, I saw someone say it, was Jim Thome. If you're getting compared to Jim Thome out of the draft, I mean, you're probably a pretty good hitter, or at least
you got some serious pop. Yeah. And he's showing it. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But just like his barreled ball, I mean, every single offensive category, he was the leader over the last month. It was just a few days ago. I saw the tweet. I'd love to bring it up and show it to you, but it's absolutely ridiculous to think of everything that he's led Major League Baseball in over the last month. And that's a pretty extended period of time to see the ball that well and actually barrel it up and hit it that well. So, I think the A's have a nice core, man. Like you said, Soderstrom, they've got Kurtz, they've got Shea Langoliers, they've just pitching. Yeah, they need some pitching,
Well,
we got Ben.
Like
hey, Ben. How you doing?
It seems like no one can pitch in that ballpark. So,
it's a tough one. I mean, yeah, it just feels like the ball flies out of there.
Are they
in Vegas next year or no?
No, it's still 2 more years there. Still two more years in Sacramento.
I think it's 2027 is it when they're making the move to Vegas.
Okay, they don't deserve to play in a AAA park. I mean, it's a nice park.
Their owner deserves it. Their owner deserves for how poorly he's handled this. The fans do not, though. The players do not either.
Yeah.
I mean, and talking about all these prospects that the A's got for Mason Miller. I mean, you think about it, right? Like you're still 2 years out from Vegas. If all these guys are even remotely close to being ready in 2027, like if that number 3 prospect in baseball is ready by 2027, like the A's could make some noise their first year in Vegas.
They could be building something. I mean, it's kind of exciting to see it. You hope Pittsburgh gets better. You hope they find a way to somehow pull themselves out of whatever cycle they're in, but they don't seem to be trying to do that.
I thought they were last year. Last year they seemed like they were improving. They were around 500, I think, at the All-Star break. They had the excitement with Skeens and Jared Jones, Mitch Keller, but the offense just is not there. It's just not there.
Well, and it was some of the advanced numbers. If you looked, you could tell. I think I said it on the show. You could see the collapse coming. I said, I think we even talked about like, do you expect Pittsburgh still to be there? And I said, it's like, no, no, they're going to collapse. And they collapsed big time. And it's unfortunate to see because it's a great sports city. I mean, it's just a really good baseball town, beautiful park. They've got everything going for them except the team right now.
Yeah, and everyone loves to it is the ownership is definitely an issue there when it comes to spending money, but I think it's more than that. It's not because we see a lot of teams that are bad that have cheap owners that don't spend a lot of money, like the Guardians, the Rays, the Brewers, but they're still able to be consistently good. Pirates can't do that really because they cannot develop a hitter to save their life.
Yeah. They have no pop. Nothing from the left side, nothing from the right side. There's just never. They always have a project guy, right? They always have a guy there that's like a huge project.
McCutcheon's still one of their best hitters. McCutcheon's still one of their best hitters at age
37. Like
that's unbelievable.
And I think it helps too, though, when you have like that face of the franchise, like that cornerstone guy that is going to be super, super consistent every single year.
Yeah.
And with all these, you look at all these small market teams, like like Nick said, the Guardians, the Rays, they always have that one guy that is consistent for however long he's with that team. Like, the Guardians have Jose.
Yeah.
The Rays for a while, had a Rosarena. They had a couple other guys for
A Rosa what?
a Rosarena for a couple of years.
Sorry.
Yeah. But
it's Junior Caminero now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like you look at
I think it's tough when that guy, by the way, is a young starting pitcher. I think that's where the Pirates are. It's hard to build around one starting pitcher.
Yeah.
It's really tough.
Like
you can only contribute once out of every 5 days. So
yeah. Yep.
Like if you can have like Nick said, if you can have like an elite level hitter, even if he's young, right? Like you're gonna attract some free agents. Like look, like this guy's young. Like let's go play with him. Because maybe maybe I get a shot at the World Series. And then it only rejuvenates these older guys that they're like, hey, if we play good enough, we got a shot to win it. And
it's kind of fun to project where Skeens might go. I think everybody just assumes it's going to be the Yankees, but I mean,
I don't even want to think about it, man. Like it's just he's in his second year of his career, and we're already talking about where he might go next. Like it's the second year of his career. They should be able to. They have him for 5 more years. They should be able to build. If they can build a team around him in 5 years, then this organization, man, like if they trade Skeens in the next like 2 or 3 years, that fan base is. They might get even less people at their game.
Yeah,
I mean, they better get like a 10-player haul for him if they trade him before. I don't know. That's a tough one. That's tough because I feel bad for him, but at the same time, I mean, I don't know. What are you gonna do,
Nick? I don't know if you tuned in on Sunday. I shared this with Chad. The average amount of run support in a major league game is 4.3 runs. Paul Skeens gets 2.1.
That's
his ERA. Man. His ERA is a 1.9. So so all the Pirates have to do when he starts is score 2 runs and you'll win the game. It's all they have to do, but they can't even give him 2 runs.
That's crazy. Tough. It's like reminds me of Jacob deGrom and the Mets. There was 1 year of Corey Kluber that was like that too. I remember it was just 1 year where he could not score when he was. I think he was like 9-16 with like a 3.4 ERA.
You almost like dreaded him starting because you were like, "Well, we're gonna lose 1-0 today." I mean, it's like you knew it was gonna happen. Yeah, it's tough. That's a tough spot to be in.
Dude, I saw somebody's like, can Paul Skeens go back to being a 2-way? Maybe he can help himself out.
Yeah, he probably would be one of the better hitters on their team, honestly. He was a good hitter at Air Force.
I know they're terrified to get him hurt, though. I don't think they want to put him out there like that. But again, they're not using it. I mean, they're not doing anything else with him. I mean, he's just running him out there every 5 days, and he puts butts in the seats, and I guess that's about it for right now. But yeah, I don't know. I think the Pirates fans would give anything for the Barry Bonds, Bobby Bonilla, Andy Van Slyke days, but those aren't coming back, I don't think, anytime soon. There's really no other team that's like down that bad. I mean, maybe the Angels have been
Rockies.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, Chad,
the Rockies have been there recently. I mean, the Rockies have at least had some playoff teams. Well, the Pirates have too, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, Chad, I don't know if you remember me telling you this in the offseason, but I said with the A's getting around Washington, I said I think I said I don't think they'd be like amazing. But if I remember right, I think I said that I could see them being better and improving just because of who Ron Washington is.
Yeah, he relates to players so well. I mean, especially for an older guy. I mean, he relates to players really, really well.
And even with him,
whatever his health issues are, I hope he's.
I don't know if he's coming back though.
He's not. He's out.
I know not this. I don't think he's coming back. He's like 73 years old with these health issues. I feel like he might be done.
Yeah, it's tough to see that. He's a great guy, but. I mean, maybe he's better off somewhere as a consultant. You know what I mean? Like maybe not traveling all the time. He's just maybe works with the infielders. He was great with the Braves infielders. I mean, I just think he's just a treasure trove of knowledge. And I don't know. I mean, the Braves they still rave about his contributions there.
Yeah, so, it's kind of like the whole Dusty Baker thing. Like, I mean, Chad, you talk about this all the time. He walked into a dumpster fire in Houston. Like nobody wanted that job, and Dusty Baker's like, I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, he literally put a gasoline suit and walked into an absolute raging fire on purpose. Like, I have a ton of respect for him for that.
I do too. And I told my dad, I said, like the year that they were in the World Series with Dusty Baker, I was like, I hate to do it, but I'm rooting for the Astros because of Dusty.
I get it.
It was one of those things. It's like I've always respected. It's like Tito too. Like if Tito makes a run with the Reds this year, like I'm rooting for the Reds just because of who Tito is and.
I get it.
It's one of those things. Like there's some of those managers that are on the older side. They just connect so well with the players. Tito, Ron Washington, Dusty Baker was one of those guys.
That's why I still believe in. That's not the main. there's a lot of reasons I still believe in the Rangers as a team because their offense has been underperforming overall this year, but they have so many good hitters. But Bruce Bochy, I mean,
Yeah,
if Bruce Bochy gets into the postseason, he
he's
in
gonna.
the last 5 times he's been to the playoffs, he's won the World Series 4 out of the 5 times.
He's
So if
dangerous.
the Rangers
Yeah.
just get into the playoffs,
Yeah.
watch out for them because Bruce Bochy he might be the best manager of this era.
You
that
give
we
him a
can name
playoff
now.
squad,
He's got
he
4
will
World
manage it.
Series.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
like I think, and I think that's things that teams don't really like take a chance on now. As you see an older manager, that either gets let go or fired, and like, well, he's older. Why would we bring him in? But then
Yeah.
you look at guys like Dusty Baker. He was with the Astros for 2 years and won a World Series. Like, who
Yep.
wouldn't? Even if he's with you for 2 years, if he gets you a World Series, that's a success in my book.
Well, it didn't work with Tony La Russa. I can tell you that. That
Oh,
did
okay.
not. That experiment did not.
There should be an 75 and under. 75
There you
and
go.
under.
Yeah,
That works.
but it's
So-
just one of those things too. Like the Reds bringing Dusty Baker, or not the Reds.
Next week on
Reds
the show, by
bringing-
the way, we'll talk about ageism in Major League Baseball. Just kidding.
The Reds bringing Tito, and Ellie De La Cruz having the best season of his career.
Yeah.
Hunter Green's having the best season of his career. You bring up Chase Burns, he's electric.
Yeah.
And you just look at all
Boogie,
these
woogie,
guys
woogie.
that
Sorry.
you just bring in like managers that people respect, and it's just
Yeah.
like players seem to play better because they feel more comfortable.
Yeah. I think it's just having that presence over there where it's like that guy that he's been there, he's going to be like the lightning rod. He's going to take the brunt of
Yep.
like all the stuff from the press. And I'm sure that Terry Francona is a guy that, he's a player's manager. I mean,
Yeah.
fried chicken and beer in the Red Sox clubhouse. I mean, he's a guy that's going to make you feel comfortable and at home. He's going to pump up his players every day. Not to the point where he's like motivating them, but like just confidence wise, I feel like he's a great guy. It's like having like your favorite uncle or your grandpa over there, and he just makes you feel at home and comfortable, and like I don't know, it probably smells like chocolate chip cookies or something, and I don't know, it's just perfect. Like it just seems to work, man. It's one of those things. I don't know, I can't describe it, but it works.
Like Nick said, like that. I didn't know that stat about Bruce Bochy. The last 5 times he's won a World Series 4 times.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where like just him managing alone can win you 3 or 4 games. And when
Yeah.
you get to a postseason, sometimes there's those tough decisions that you have to make that end up winning you the game, and it's because of him.
Absolutely.
And it's like sometimes
people say managers don't really do anything anymore because there's the DH, there's no double switches, but I mean, there's still plenty of strategy that goes into like running the bullpen, and there's plenty of stuff.
Yeah, and
I mean,
like
bunts and hit and runs still exist. I mean, those are still things. So
yeah, it's just crazy too because like you look at all these like I'm convinced like if you put, I'm not saying they'd be great, but like if Tito took the Pirates job, I feel like the Pirates would be right around 500 this year, just because of who he is and what he's known for in his career.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like the Pirates are one of those. They're like the Browns. Like they just can't get out of their own way. And it doesn't matter who they add to the roster. It doesn't matter who they draft. It doesn't matter who they hire to come manage. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters. I mean, it just feels very much like the Browns.
They're definitely, I mean, team success-wise, it does feel like that. But it does, the Browns at least try a bunch of different things. It feels like the Browns try. The Browns are, if you can't, the Haslams at least try. It doesn't work most of the time, but they take big swings. They take ginormous swing. Like they took arguably the biggest swing in NFL history just a few years ago.
We're still feeling the breeze from that miss. By the way,
they make massive trades in the draft. Like they've had a high payroll for a long time. The Browns have. I mean, they at least try. It's a different type. It's a different type of incompetence, but it does feel similar.
It's somehow a more frustrating incompetence because there is the effort and you see like the trying. And I think sometimes as a Pirates fan, I don't know what's more frustrating, watching your team not really try to put a winner on the field or being a Browns fan and watching your team put a very talented team on paper, but on the field somehow it just never translates. I don't know what's more frustrating.
Yeah, it's tough. It's probably, I mean, you kind of feel that with the Guardians sometimes that they don't try as hard as they aim, but at least they're consistently like, they've kind of every other year kind of has been what they've been recently. One good year, one bad year. But it does feel like sometimes like this season's been so frustrating to watch because it doesn't feel like they're trying all that hard.
Yeah.
I still think having your team try insanely hard and sucking is worse. Just because watching the Browns last year was one of the worst experiences of my life. So
I mean, it was bad. And Ben, that's another thing that we talked about on the show. I mean, a lot of people were picking the Browns to be like 12-5, and I'm looking at Ben like, how? Like who? Why do we think they're going to win? I think where did I pick them to go? 4-13.
Yeah.
And then 3-14. I mean, I thought they were going to be very, very bad. It just felt like one of
It
those
was
years.
really because I think it was all because they were good the year before without good quarterback play, and people believed enough in Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry is really because like it felt like they were building something with the culture a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it all went down the window last year.
And
so.
but
watch Nick Chubb. By the way, watch Nick Chubb run for 1,800 yards and like 14 touchdowns.
Oh, it doesn't sound like he's moving too well anymore.
No.
I've heard a lot of bad stuff out of Texans camp about Chubb.
I haven't heard much, but that's heartbreaking.
Yeah. But I mean, talking about the whole Browns while we're on him. I mean, you look at what Stefanski has had success with in Cleveland. That play action, that heavy run first, or being able to set up your play action with the run. But like, I mean, me and Nick talked about this. Like last year, Jerome Ford averaged 5 yards a carry and barely ran the football.
It was I'll be honest, it was kind of a fake 5 year. There's a few long runs that really skewed that because watching the games last year, it did not feel like they could run the football.
Yeah.
Even though Ford's stats it really didn't feel like they could run the football. But the real issue was that they went completely away from their offensive strategy. I mean, they got rid of Van Pelt, brought in Ken Dorsey, tried to accommodate the offense for Watson, who sucked. So of course it's not going to work. They should have.
If I remember correctly, I could be wrong, but I feel like Ford broke a few runs late in games where they were down.
Yeah, it was blowouts. Like it really was a fake 5 yards per carry. It felt like, but I mean the stats look good. Yeah, that's why I was surprised at the end of the year looking at his stats. I'm like, he had 5+ yards per carry. It did not feel like that. But
no, but it's one of those things too. Is like this year, right? Like you have 4 quarterbacks. 3 of them we know are decent in play action. With Flacco, Sanders, and Pickett. Yeah. Don't know how good Dylan Gabriel is in play action.
Well, he can hide back there. I mean, that's one thing he can do, I guess, in the play action. He can just hide.
It's one of those things when it's like if Stefanski can get back to that play action, that play action offense, with the receivers the Browns have, the tight
you got to be able to run it first, though. You got to be able to run it.
But I think they'll be able to, though, if they don't shy away from it too, right? Like.
And that's the whole thing this year, though. It seems like they're really trying. They brought in, new offensive coordinator, new offensive line coach. They drafted another tight end to run more 2 tight end sets. They drafted 2 running backs. Yeah, they drafted 2 running backs. Obviously, one's got some legal stuff going on, but still, it seems like the emphasis this year is to get back to running the ball and get back to that Kevin Stefanski style offense we saw before, which is why, even though I don't think they're going to be very good this year, I at least think they're going to be a lot more watchable and a lot more competitive is what I think. I don't think they're going to be good. I'm not expecting them to be good. They shouldn't be good this year. They shouldn't be good. This is the first time I've gone into a year in a long time where there's no expectations on the Browns.
Yeah. I'd be surprised if they won 5 games.
Yeah, like that's a success, honestly, is 5 wins this year. Like, but
or not, as long as then you don't get the number 1 overall pick. I don't know. Like,
we got the Jaguars pick too, though, so we got 2 picks.
True.
But
possibly 2 top 10 picks. Yeah.
Yeah, I really just want them to get back to having an identity, being watchable, being competent.
Yeah.
No off the field drama. Hopefully, I mean, Quinshawn already started that, but still, hopefully in the season, none of that. I just want this year to be like the right step that they're building something, and that they're back to competitive football. That's all I want out of this season.
That's fair.
I agree. I mean, and me and Chad have talked about this before. Like the year before they beat the Steelers in the playoffs, right? Like you look at it, right? Like at the end of that year, they were playing some really, really, really good football.
Mm-hmm.
And you go into the year where they beat the Steelers in the playoffs, and you're thinking, okay, this team could be pretty scary, right? And then they finished second in the division, right behind Pittsburgh.
Yep.
And you're like, okay, this, like
they're
obviously
they're finally putting it together.
Obviously, nobody expected what happened in that Steelers game. Nobody expected that to happen. Like,
no.
I did.
Well, there you go.
I didn't expect that, but I expected to win. I thought.
No, yeah, like
the beginning of the game was insane.
Yes.
I knew the game was over when Marquise Pouncey snaps the ball
first play of the game,
20 feet over somebody's head who's 6'5".
That was wild.
Like,
yeah,
Marquise Pouncey, who's been Big Ben's center for 10 years, snaps it 20 feet over his head, and Big Ben's just like,
right.
Oh, well,
and 3 minutes later, it was 21-0. Like,
yeah,
that was wild.
But it's just like, and you look at it too, right? Like, even though Stefanski wasn't coaching that game, they didn't shy away from their game plan. Yeah. It was heavy run first, heavy play action. Yeah. And it's like
they did the same. They did this. They did the same thing in 2023. Like it was successful, and even in 2021, like the Browns, their offense overall, the first 4 years of the Stefanski era, it was up and down because of quarterback play. Is really
Yep.
why it was up and down. But they were always among the top of the league in rush percentage. They always had a good O line, and the offense at least put up some solid numbers. Really, besides the Baker injury year where he was playing but was clearly hurt, and
Yeah.
the offense was terrible because we were
Yeah.
playing a quarterback with a torn shoulder. I mean,
I don't care
but
if you're throwing
every-
arm or not. That makes it tough.
even
Yeah.
the Jacoby Brissett year, that offense was good
Yeah.
that year. That
Dude,
year was the defense that
before
was bad. Like
Before
Enough
offense
that
is
some
not-
people wanted Brissett signed here long term. I mean,
besides
yeah.
last year, offense has not been the issue with the Browns. It's
Yeah.
been like quarterback overall has been, but they always had a good run game.
Yeah.
If
For
they
some
can just
reason,
get
they
back
can't
to that
tackle on
this
the
year.
road. I don't understand that. I don't understand
Yeah,
how
that
like,
is weird. Our home road defense splits have been really weird the last few years. I don't
really
understand
bizarre.
that.
I like the tackling problems on the road are very, very strange to me. That's one part of your defense that should travel no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it
weird.
doesn't really make sense.
No.
And it's kind of one of those things too, right? Like going back to, I know we've gotten away from, the whole baseball talk, but going back to
There's
building
nothing going
around, going back to building around one guy, the Browns literally molded their whole defense a couple years ago around Myles Garrett,
Mhm.
right? Obviously, the first year when they brought in, I'm blanking on
Schwartz.
the defensive coordinators. Yeah, Jim
Schwartz.
Schwartz. Me and Nick talked about it. Like we thought that like we literally said that defense could be one of the best in the NFL, and it was.
Yeah. At
And
times.
and then once teams figured out their weaknesses after that year, every year it's gone down. I just don't think the Browns have adapted to it.
It was, I mean, the JOK injury really hurt, and
It
for
did.
some reason, and
Is he gonna play again?
it doesn't seem like it.
Oh man,
And
I
then
know.
2 years ago, Martin Emerson was one of the best corners in the NFL. Last year took a massive step back, and now he's out for this season.
Well,
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of, if you just look at a lot of the pieces from that defense
Yeah.
from 2 years ago are just not the same. I do
Yeah.
think that they're starting to build it back up again with
I
Schlesinger,
agree.
Mason Graham,
yeah.
Grant Delpit. Grant
I
Delpit.
thought
at
Mason Graham
safety
was
has been
the
there
exact
for a
move in the
while.
draft, by the way. I thought that was
Yeah, it
great.
was a great move, and
Yeah.
Greg Newsom's still a solid corner. I think the defense should be better this year than it was last year. I think Larry
Denzel
London
Ward, when he's healthy, he's
Yeah,
shut down. I
he's-
mean, yeah.
Yeah, and if last year the offense was so bad that it left the defense on the field so much, that's really why I think
agree.
the defense regressed last year, was because they
Yeah.
had so much weight on their shoulders. They couldn't give up more than 15 points if we wanted to win the game.
It was.
Yeah, I mean, when you're on the field for like 35 to 40 minutes of football,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's really
like,
tough. Yeah.
That was the exact same with
Tough.
Pittsburgh last year too, right? Like at the end of the season, we couldn't score a touchdown to save your lives. So then your defense is out there, and the other team's running the ball down the field, and you're on the field for 8-9 minutes of time, and you're like, the offense, dude. In the first half against the Ravens in the playoffs, we had 3 possessions.
Yep.
yeah,
Well, like we had 3
With all the
Ravens
drops and everything else from
Yeah.
the Ravens. Yeah.
The Ravens had 28 minutes of possession in the first half.
Unreal.
Out of 30, we had the ball for 2 minutes in 3 possessions.
Yeah. It's not great.
Like Nick said, how is your defense just
it's rough.
supposed to play good when you're on the field for 30 minutes?
It's
in each
exhausting.
half?
And I think sometimes fans forget about that part of it. It's like they think that that's somehow being soft or being whatever. But I mean, literally, when you're out there for 2/3 of the game as a defense, I mean, defense is all reactionary. It's already hard enough because you're reacting to everything the offense is doing. I mean, yeah, to a certain point, you're calling plays and you're doing things. But I mean, think about corners and like the safeties, whatever. You're covering guys, in one-on-one, man-to-man. You're running with the receiver. You're mirroring every move. I mean, it's exhausting. It's just you
Mhm.
can't do it for 45 minutes a game. I mean, it's
And
impossible.
No, and I think that's what makes having elite pass rushers like both of our defenses have.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes it good because you have that ability to have that, that highlight play, that splash play.
Yeah.
But when you're on the field for 30 to 40 minutes, they can't play every single snap. And we saw
No.
that last year with TJ and Myles Garrett. Like they can't be out there for every single down. And when they're off the field, teams just run right where they're supposed to be, but they're not there
Yeah.
because they're on the sideline and it's a 40-yard gain.
Well, hopefully with Mason Graham, they can start to stop the run a little
Yeah.
better. They
Yeah.
can maybe,
I'll-
he's actually pretty good at getting pressure on the quarterback. So maybe they can get some more 3-and-outs this year and get off the field and not be out there for 14, 15 play, 9, 10-minute drives. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and Mike Hall as well this year. He's the more of the pass rusher type than the run
Yep.
stopper, but that should be a really good duo at D tackle. And
Yeah.
I've heard nothing but amazing things about Isaiah McGuire who
Okay.
seems like he might be taking over as the opposite edge spot this year.
Okay.
All I've heard about is that the Browns love this guy. This guy's incredible in camp. This guy's all he's done is impress since we've drafted him. So him
Yeah.
now stepping into the starting role, I'm really curious to see how that'll look.
Yeah.
But the front seven, I mean, Jordan Hicks retiring is a little weird. But I think the front seven should be
You say
pretty
good luck
this
with
year.
that, by the way.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just
I-
funny.
But I think it's one of those things too, where like when you have a guy that just like explodes onto the scene, like like Isaiah McGuire, you're sitting there thinking, okay, he's not a. So before I start, is he a rookie, Nick, or no?
No, he's a third year, I think.
Third year? So
Yeah, he's been a rotational pass rush guy.
Do you feel that pressure to start building something around that now that you've got
What I
that
was
team,
gonna-
that front seven that's like there? And I mean, even without JOK.
What I was gonna say is like how much in these first 3 years, how much did he learn from Myles Garrett and finally
Probably a
start to,
lot,
like,
yeah.
finally start to take it all in? And it's the same thing with Alex Highsmith in Pittsburgh, right? Like
Yeah.
his first couple of years, he was behind, some rotational pieces as well, but he was
Yeah.
sitting there learning from TJ Watt. And then when that guy left, now Highsmith is a decent option on the other side of the football.
TJ Watt, now the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL, by the way.
And
hey Nick, real quick,
hey,
we never got to get your take
Okay.
on this. I wanted to ask you. This is a weird thing.
Okay.
But with Myles Garrett, with the whole saga, what was it that the Haslam said, or that whoever said it? What kept him here? What suddenly changed that? I mean, was it just the money?
I think it's the money. Like because at the time he was way more than the highest other edge rusher was. And I think that they probably did sit down and talk about what they were planning on doing this offseason, if I had to
Yeah.
guess. Maybe, and you know how he said in his press conference back, like, oh, do you know who the quarterback's going to be? And he's like, I have an idea. I
Yeah.
think they were talking about Joe Flacco, maybe, because I think this team still has a ton of respect for Joe Flacco. Even if he doesn't
Yeah.
start, I think maybe them telling him that he'd be on the roster maybe helped a little. It probably didn't. It's a 40-year-old quarterback. Like, probably didn't help a
But
ton.
maybe
But
just as his presence in the clubhouse, maybe he helped solidify that a little bit. I'm sure they didn't
the
tell him, hey,
most-
we're going to pick Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round, and that's going to get him excited. Like, that was weird.
I
That was
mean,
a whole-
like, I really do think a lot of it was money, and they
Yeah.
probably also did lay out a path to success that they think that might have intrigued him a little bit. And like, I'll be honest, I didn't blame him when he requested the trade. I really
No,
didn't
at
blame him.
all.
So
No.
all the people who like hate or turned on him because he requested the trade, I don't like. Do you
I
blame
thought
the
he
guy?
was
Man,
well
he's
within
been
his
here.
right to do so.
He's-
Yeah.
And I don't
And I
blame him
think-
for taking the money to stay either. I don't blame him at all for taking the money
No,
to stay. Like,
No.
And I think it's one of those guys too that like I think the Browns did right by, like Nick said, even if they did sit down to talk to him about, hey, like what do you want? Like here's our plan. It's one of those things that like you're relieved that he stayed because he's one of those generational players that you do not want to lose. Like
oh, I
like
mean, if he
you
would've
can't
been
replace
gone,
Myles
man,
Garrett.
if
Like
he
you
would've been
cannot
gone,
replace
like,
Myles Garrett.
it would have felt like an entire era wasted. It would have
Yeah.
felt like we
Joe
just
Thomas.
let the best player we've ever had in our franchise since Jim Brown, maybe it's him and Joe Thomas, walk out of the building with one playoff win and nothing really to show for it other than that. Like, it would have been
If
heartbreaking.
LeBron would have come back and they wouldn't have won a title. I mean, it's similar. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
it really would have been heartbreaking because he's the best player I've ever seen put on a Browns uniform in my life. And I
Yeah.
do think too, though, because wasn't there a Joe Thomas tweet or message posted about like you want to like didn't he the guy who said Cleveland to Canton and like you want to be
Yes.
remembered by the fans? I think maybe that resonated with him a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, look how beloved Joe Thomas is for staying here
Yeah.
through all that time, and maybe Miles saw that and was like,
I'm sure he would have
can't
found
really
some
pass
love
that
in
up.
Philadelphia if he would have gone there.
Oh,
and
he
helped
for
that.
sure would have. Yeah, but
No, but no, like Nick said, when you have a Hall of Fame guy from the Browns who
Yeah.
played on had one winning season, which was his rookie year, and he went from Cleveland to Canton for his whole career, and he tweets, it's not about the money, it's about going from Cleveland to Canton. And then Myles Garrett opens up his press conference when he resigns and says it was all about going from Cleveland to Canton. Like
Yeah.
Nick said,
well,
it,
first
like that,
That clearly resonated. Yeah.
well, what's messed up too though is didn't he use the shot? He like said the opposite when he put out the statement to request the
did.
trade. He's like, it was never about going from Cleveland to Canton. It was about winning the Super Bowl. And then
He was all over
It
the
was a whole
place. It
weird
was weird,
situation. All
No,
I
it
know
was,
is
but-
he's still a Brown. He's still a Brown, and I'm happy about that.
Yeah,
and
no,
him
I
being on
was-
the team
yeah.
makes them better at football. That's
I was getting worried about the whole TJ Watt situation. I thought he was going to request the trade.
Yeah.
He's
It
one of
seemed
last
like it was
year.
headed
His
that
growth-
way.
training
Speaking
camp.
of trade requests, a couple minutes ago, Terry McLaurin just officially requested a trade from the Commanders. So
Okay.
that's interesting.
That is
Little
very
bit,
interesting.
Yeah,
What does
but
that say
he's been
about
holding
Dayton
out.
Daniels? That's really weird.
He's been holding
It's-
out. They won't give him an extension.
yeah, it's one of those things too where it's like
Might not be a smart idea to not extend those Buckeyes receivers, by the way.
And that one's so weird to me because they just got good. He's
Yeah.
waited his whole career there for a quarterback. He
Yeah.
finally has one, and they just got good. And now you won't pay him. And now
He must be talking to somebody on that. He must have an idea of where he's going to end up if he's doing. You know what I mean?
apparently they're like $10 million apart in contract negotiations or something.
That's
like
not-
like
All right.
Usually
Well, hey,
when
listen, somehow an hour
usually-
has flown by. I can't believe it. Ben, you got something to say real quick before we
I was
go?
gonna say usually when you're talking extensions, usually it's like you're $2 to like $4 million off, but $10 million like that's not going anywhere. Like that's
Yeah.
not getting any closer.
That sounds like a
no,
Scott
it
Boris.
doesn't.
deal.
It
That
seems
sounds
like
a
they're
bit-
really far apart.
Yeah, that sounds like a Boris.
Hey,
we're
Terry
headed to
to
arbitration.
Cleveland?
Never know.
Probably not.
I don't think we're going to go
Probably not.
all in
We're
on
not
anybody
buying
like
that.
that right now, but
Dude,
that would be
Yeah,
exciting
we're
to
not.
see.
That's
If
yeah,
they had a
that's not
quarterback,
happening.
right? We don't know
Yeah,
who's going to play
dude.
quarterback, but
I
whatever.
heard there's a receiver from Miami, Ohio, who might make the Browns active roster to start the season.
Okay. All right.
You got a
Well,
guy
listen,
from
there's a lot
Kent,
of
too.
intriguing things. And Nick, I don't know if you want to come back and do an NFL preview with us or a college football preview or anything like that.
I'll tell you, I would love to talk some college ball coming up soon.
Let's do it. We've got the college
been
football preview
studying-
coming up. We're a month
yeah.
away from like big
I
time
know.
college football.
I'm
We're a
getting-
month
because
away.
I've been playing the new game. I'm all in college
too.
football mode. I'm really excited for it.
Me too.
I can't wait for college football Saturdays.
Yeah,
and
there's
Ohio
an
State's
Indiana-
starting the
there's a-
year off.
There's a quarterback in Indiana that might go number 1 overall. That's all you got. That's all you have to know about this season. That's all you have to know.
And them starting the year off against Texas in the shoe is so incredible too. Like that's such a big because last year it felt like we had to wait forever for a meaningful game to really tell how good the team was. We're gonna
Yeah.
know week 1 what type of team we got this year.
Yeah.
So like
And there's
it's
no,
really-
there's no reason to panic if they lose the game.
No,
you can still
yeah.
get into the playoffs. There's
Yeah.
absolutely no
I will
reason
say-
to panic.
I just
love
don't want
that
to get blown. I don't want to get blown out.
No,
I will
that'd be
say
bad.
Now, I will say
What's
now,
that?
Lincoln Keenholz will be the Buckeye starter week 1.
Okay. All right. I think you're wrong, but okay.
My hot take.
Listen, I think he's a great athlete. I don't think you're that far off, but I think it's going to be Sane. I think it's going to
I
be.
think Sain's going to be a stud.
got-
I think he's
I've
going to be
seen
a
some-
stud.
From what I've heard from Twitter online, is that Sane is not playing well in practice.
Well, there's
He's
one
throwing-
thing we know about Twitter. It always tells the truth. So
Well,
there's
no,
no.
there's video
no.
proof too.
Oh, okay. All
There's
right.
video proof that he's throwing 2 to 3 interceptions each drive.
I'll look at it. It better not be clips from the video game, Ben. I swear. If it's clips from the video game, I'm going to be upset with you. But let's get out of here. We'll try to do another show sometime this
Sure.
week. I don't know exactly what day we're going to go. Nick Rourke, thanks so much for being with us today. We appreciate you coming on as a guest. We're going to have you back. We're going to do a college football preview here in the next couple of weeks. We'll do an NFL preview. We've got some meaningful NFL football tonight, right? We've got the Hall of Fame game. That's kind of fun. I probably won't watch it, but whatever.
Yeah, me neither.
I like my first
I'll
football that
watch
I
just-
watched of the year to
I
be
watch
college.
just for the taste. I watch just to get the taste of it.
That's fair. That's fair. And that's not going to taste very good if you're a Browns fan this year. So football might taste like, a
Low
similar
expectations.
color for the
Low
Browns.
expectation. Keep the expectations low. You can't be disappointed too much. That's
Yeah,
all.
exactly. Listen, just
That's
when
what
you
I'm
go
doing
in
this
as
year.
this year as a Browns fan, just look for development.
Yeah, that's all I
Look
care
for
about.
some guys to progress a little bit, and let's
Just watchable.
like we always do. Let's think about our quarterback in the draft next year, right? Whatever. Nick, thanks a lot for being on again, man. Ben Bales, as always, I appreciate you, buddy. And we're out of here. Sports Show with No Name. Thanks for watching. Remember to like us, follow us, subscribe to us, whatever platform you catch us on. Just remember to give us a like and a follow. And we'll see you next time we're live. Thanks, guys. We'll see you.